The PARC Initiative is a collaborative project coordinated by the Writing Across the Curriculum program, the Office of Students as Scholars, and faculty from Communication, English, and the university libraries. We developed this interdisciplinary model as a tool for faculty instructors of writing, speaking, and research in all disciplines, to offer a set of focused points useful in guiding assignment design and conversations with students at all levels. Students often leave their first experiences as college writers, speakers, and researchers with a nascent sense of the rhetorical nature of the complex writing tasks they will encounter in upper-level and disciplinary courses. This rhetorical knowledge includes an emerging sense of the informational content that authors communicate. But communicating this information effectively requires that students develop some sensitivity to and even engage in planning around other important elements of crafting their work. Helping students to develop this rhetorical sense of effective communication, that is, providing opportunities for them to think through the purpose, audience, resources, and conventions entailed in successful completion of an assignment, can both help students to develop these important and transportable skills and can help offer writing instructors interesting teaching strategies in support of their students' efforts. Purpose. What are the intended effects or outcomes of your work? Students benefit enormously from in-class conversations about the purpose that shapes a project, particularly how they hope to impact those who will encounter their work. What do they hope will happen as a result of their efforts? How will they change minds, inform others, or open a new space for a different sort of thinking? Here is an example from a writing assignment that integrates both concerns. Choose a problem or critical issue from among those we've discussed in the first 4 weeks of class. Your goal in this essay is to demonstrate at least 3 different viewpoints or approaches to thinking about, solving, resolving, moving past, or rethinking this topic, problem, issue. According to people in your chosen field, why exactly is this issue worth time, attention, and more nuanced understanding? Your purpose here is to demonstrate that you have developed a more complex understanding of this issue through this research undertaking. Seek to lay out the ways people in your field discuss this issue. Where do thinkers in your field agree, disagree, or hold different viewpoints on solutions to this problem or ways of moving forward around the issue? For extra learning possibilities, you might ask students to write 2 or 3 texts that achieve the same purpose but are written in different forms. For example, ask them to write an email to the president of the university about an issue on campus, then to write about the same issue for a local news source, and after that to develop a flyer about this issue to post in the Student Center. Audience. Who are you addressing? What do they already know? What might audience members struggle to understand? Our students are often experts at reading us, their faculty, but because most students are novices within their disciplinary and professional communities, they are often unfamiliar with the expectations of broader audiences. Yet, effective writing and speaking, especially in professional contexts, requires a dynamic and transactional understanding of who is waiting at the other end of a project. To help students develop a stronger sense of audience, instructors can assign audiences that are very specific and clearly identified. Discussing some of the features or expectations of that audience is crucial as well. Example audiences might include your classmates, parents of first-year Mason students, a technician who serves clients only via email, a student who is just entering the major, readers of a Fairfax news source, Scientists participating in this research conversation. 2 other teaching strategies to help students think more about audience. Have students look at the sorts of texts you would like them to produce and to work in a small group to identify or free write about the rules that a writer should follow when addressing the audience intended by that piece. You might allow students in different groups to choose from a range of different examples related to the topic of your course, from academic articles to law briefs, white papers, museum exhibits, research posters, documentaries, advertisements, websites, and/or brochures. Have students write on the same topic for progressively sophisticated audiences. The intended audiences for the text might change from high school students to consumers with purchasing power to disciplinary experts. The purpose might move from proving a basic background to informing the public to presenting a data-driven argument that extends a current conversation in the field. Resources. What evidence or information do you need to support your work? What physical resources do you need for this project? Discussing what counts as evidence with students, especially in relation to purpose and audience, can also be an important learning experience. Some example teaching strategies might include: have students analyze how sources are used differently in different genres of texts about the same research experiment: the original scientific or academic essay, a longer essay written for a national news source, such as the New York Times, and a short essay written for a popular source, such as a blog, Time, Women's Health, or People. Is there data used to support the argument? Is it quantitative, qualitative, narrative, or mixed? Is it credible? What types of bias, both acknowledged and unacknowledged by the authors, might be in the evidence presented? Have students look through the works cited or references page of a key reading, then look up 3 to 5 of the references listed. You may ask them to describe the features of published work in those venues, or what the venue seems to value in works it publishes. Ask students to complete an annotated bibliography as part of the preparation for longer research assignments. In this assignment, they must summarize the source, discuss why the source is or is not credible, and discuss how the source will be useful in their project. Conventions. What is the right way to do this? What does your audience expect from you in terms of form, formality, authority, or delivery? Faculty spend an enormous amount of time reading, evaluating, and presenting information, but most of our students have very little experience with these sorts of projects, presentations, and writing. As such, students often find the conventions for creating academic work mysterious, arcane, arbitrary, and even subjective. They simply do not understand why particular features of these projects are so valued within professional or academic communities. Some strategies for teaching students about the conventions you and others in your field most value. Have students free write about the choices they will make or have made while working on a project. Why is this word choice better than another? Why did they choose to represent data or supporting evidence in the way that they did? Why would a specific audience care about this handling of evidence? Have students revise a scientific paper into a poster or a scholarly essay into a news article. Ask them to reflect on what ideals or rules they had to think about as they revised. Have students cut a lengthy piece they have written into a much shorter piece, going from 1,500 words to 500 words, for instance, while still citing key information. These are just a few of the ways faculty might work with the rhetorical concepts central to PARC. We know that you will have other ideas and examples of how you already do, or perhaps will at some future time, use these concepts in your own writing classes. How do you speak to students about purpose, audience, resources, and conventions? Thank you.